throwing down, first seafood throwdown in San Francisco ever. We're talking about locally caught seafood. Come hang out with us. Time check for our chefs. We got Chef Matthew representing San Francisco. Give it up for Chef Matthew. Going against Chef Aaronette from Oakland is here for Aaronette's got some fans. Okay. Wanted to acknowledge there's a great question that came from the crowd earlier. This question was about, we got a growing human population, right? It's skyrocketing, and we got limited resources in our ocean. So how do we talk about wild-caught seafood? How does that match up? So I want to ask everybody a question, right? So if we think about all of the seafood that we eat in the United States, okay, all the seafood we consume here, how much of that do you think is imported, coming from overseas? Any guesses? 70%. I heard 70% is higher.
Over 90.
Over 90%. It's about 92%, okay, of all the seafood that we collectively consume is coming from overseas. And you might think, well, maybe we have to do that because we don't catch enough to feed ourselves. But that's not true. We could actually feed ourselves easily with values-based seafood and fishing businesses.
A good way to answer that question is what's in season. And generally, it's easy to know, be it Californians and even San Franciscans right here, you're eating what's in your front yard. What's one of the main things that you go and we're so famous for right now? King crab. I was last, better than king crab. Dungeness crab. And then what's after Dungeness crab? Salmon. So we are blessed to have two of the best eating seafoods in the whole planet right here in our front yards, and they have their individual seasons, so pay attention to that. And then after that, there's a big thing right now, a lot of people eating more of the top of the food chain stuff. Sardines are insane. They're one of the best eating fish around. And you can get them, and ask for them more and more, and they'll start to show up more and more. They're caught and they're shipped out, or they're made into bait and everything else, but they really are starting to be more and more of a food fish, going back to slow food style, back to what we used to do and eating, and then, just asking for it.
For the average seafood consumed in the United States, how far do you think it's traveled from dock to dish? Mileage?
1,000 miles.
1,000 miles. It's higher than that? 5,000. It's a little bit higher than that. It's about 5,500 miles. Farther from Kodiak, Alaska to the Key West.
Come on.
The question was on anchovies and sardines in this area. We'll address that right after we start the consumption of our delicious food. So please remind me on your question as well. Matt, you want to talk about what you're putting out here?
I would love to. So, a little pan-roasted sablefish or black cod, served with some roasted sunchokes,
All the birds were in the sheer waters. Water was a perfect temperature, and there was big giant schools of sardines and anchovies. And there's also some squid showing up. So it's a big, healthy, beautiful looking ocean right now. To answer your question, as far as food, you don't really get a lot of sardines.
We use all of the fish. It has in place of a tortilla, we're using jicama. Then we have our own escabeche with some green onions.
That cooked very, very well. This is going to be a hard one, huh, guys?
I'll sort of echo what you said. I mean, the complete opposite. Very light, fresh, bright, balanced. You don't have a crispy bottom, but that doesn't mean you're going to get less points. Really delicious and also original. I haven't seen a dish presented in this way before. So, yeah, well done.
Buttery flavor along with the beautiful vegetables and a little bit of the peas to blend it all in. Definitely excellent. Thank you, Jeff. Beautiful job.
And we really hope to have this slow fish concept of knowing your fishermen, local catch, understand your fishermen, support your local fishing community as much as you can. If you can't, at least ask those questions where your seafood came from, whether it's the East Coast, West Coast, South, wherever it came from. Support those local communities, because if they're not catching your fish, you're probably eating something fishy fish.